Hey guys, welcome to day 51 of the Bible in a Year plan. Today, we will be reading Numbers 26 through 29 and Luke 2. If you need to read more about this plan, visit the High Quality Gospel website with a link in the description of the episode and the podcast. Please leave a like and follow the podcast to stay up to date with new episodes. Now, let's begin with reading Numbers 26. After the plague, the Lord said to Moses and Eleazar son of Aaron, the priest, "Take a census of the entire Israelite community by their ancestral families, of those 20 years old or more who can serve in Israel's army." So Moses and the priest Eleazar said to them in the plains of Moab by the Jordan across from Jericho, "Take a census of those 20 years old or more, as the Lord had commanded Moses, and the Israelites who came out of the land of Egypt." Reuben was the firstborn of Israel, Reuben's descendants, the Hanokite clan from Hanok, the Paluite clan from Palu, the Hezronite clan from Hezron, the Carmite clan from Carmi. These were the Reubenite clans, and their registered men numbered 43,730. The son of Palu was Eliab. The sons of Eliab were Nemuel, Dathan, and Abiram. It was Dathan and Abiram, chosen by the community, who fought against Moses and Aaron. They and Korah's followers fought against the Lord. The earth opened its mouth and swallowed them with Korah when his followers died, and the fire consumed 250 men. They serve as a warning sign. The sons of Korah, however, did not die. Simeon's descendants by their clans: the Nemuelite clan from Nemuel, the Jaminite clan from Jamin, the Jachinite clan from Jachin, the Zerahite clan from Zerah, the Shaulite clan from Shaul. These were Simeonite clans, numbering 22,200 men. Gad's descendants by their clans: the Zephonite clan from Zephon, the Haggite clan from Haggai, the Shunite clan from Shuni, the Oznite clan from Ozni, the Arite clan from Eri, the Aradite clan from Arad, the Aralite clan from Arali. These were the Gadite clans numbered by their registered men, 40,500. Judah's sons included Er and Onan, but they died in the land of Canaan. Judah's descendants by their clans: the Shelonite clan from Shelah, the Perizzite clan from Perez, the Zerahite clan from Zerah, the descendants of Perez, the Hezronite clan from Hezron, the Hamulite clan from Hamul. These were Judah's clans numbered by their registered men, 76,500. Issachar's descendants by their clans: the Toalite clan from Tola, the Punite clan from Puva, the Jashubite clan from Jashub, the Shimronite clan from Shimron. These were Issachar's clans, numbered by their registered men, 64,300. Zebulun's descendants by their clans: the Saradite clan from Sared, the Elonite clan from Elon, the Jalilite clan from Jalil. These were the Zebulunite clans, numbered by their registered men, 60,500. Joseph's descendants by their clans from Manasseh and Ephraim: Manasseh's descendants, the Machirite clan from Machir. Machir fathered Gilead, the Gilead clan fathered from Gilead. These were Gilead's descendants: the Ezraite clan from Ezer, the Helekite clan from Helek, the Asrielite clan from Asriel, the Shechemite clan from Shechem, the Shemadiah clan from Shemadiah, the Hepherite clan from Hepher. Zelophehad, son of Hepher, had no sons, only daughters. The names of Zelophehad's daughters were Mahlah, Noah, Hoglah, Milcah, and Tirzah. These were Manasseh's clans, numbered by their registered men, 52,700. These were Ephraim's descendants by their clans: the Shuthelahite clan from Shuthelah, the Becherite clan from Becher, the Tahanite clan from Tahan. These were Shuthelah's descendants: the Aaronite clan from Iran. These were the Ephraimite clans, numbered by their registered men, 32,500. These were Joseph's descendants by their clans. Benjamin's descendants by their clans: the Belite clan from Belah, the Ashbelite clan from Ashbel, the Ahiramite clan from Ahiram, the Shuphamite clan from Shufam, the Huphamite clan from Hufam, Belah's descendants from Ard and Naaman, the Ardite clan from Ard, the Naamite clan from Naaman. These were the Benjaminite clans, numbered by their registered men, 45,600. These were Dan's descendants by their clans: the Shuhamite clan from Shuham. These were the clans of Dan by their clans. All the Shuhamite clans numbered by their registered men, 64,400. Asher's descendants by their clans: the Imnite clan from Imnah, the Ishvite clan from Ishvi, the Berite clan from Beriah. From Beriah's descendants: the Heberite clan from Heber, the Malchilite clan from Malchiel, and the name of Asher's daughter was Sarai. These were the Asherite clans numbered by their registered men, 53,400. Naphtali's descendants by their clans: the Jahilzite clan from Jazil, the Gunite clan from Guni, the Jezerite clan from Jezer, the Shilemite clan from Shilem. These were Naphtali's clans numbered by their registered men, 45,400. These registered Israelite men numbered 601,730. The Lord spoke to Moses. The land is to be divided among them as an inheritance based on the number of names. Increase the inheritance for a large tribe and decrease it for a small one. Each is to be given its inheritance according to those who are registered in it. The land is to be divided by lot. They will receive an inheritance according to the names of their ancestral tribes. Each inheritance will be divided by lot among the larger and smaller tribes. These were the Levites registered by their clans: the Gershonite clan from Gershon, the Kohathite clan from Kohath, the Merarite clan from Merari. These were the Levite family groups: the Libnite clan, the Hebronite clan, the Mahlite clan, the Mushite clan, and the Korahite clan. Kohath was the ancestor of Amram. The name of Amram's wife was Jochebed, the descendant of Levi, born to Levi in Egypt. She bore to Amram, Aaron, Moses, and their sister Miriam. Nadab, Abihu, Eleazar, and Ithamar were born to Aaron. But Nadab and Abihu died when they presented unauthorized fire before the Lord. Those registered were 23,000, every male 1 month old or more. They were not registered among the other Israelites because no inheritance was given to them among the Israelites. These are the ones registered by Moses and the priest Eleazar when they registered the Israelites on the plains of Moab by the Jordan across from Jericho. But among them there was not one of those who had been registered by Moses and the priest Aaron said when they registered the Israelites in the wilderness of Sinai. For the Lord had said to them that they would all die in the wilderness. None of them was left except for Caleb son of Jephunneh and Joshua son of Nun. The daughters of Zelophehad approached. Zelophehad was the son of Hepher, son of Gilead, son of Machir, son of Manasseh, from the clans of Manasseh, the son of Joseph. These were the names of his daughters: Mahlah, Noah, Hoglah, Milcah, and Tirzah. They stood before Moses and the priest Eleazar, the leaders, and the entire community at the entrance to the tent of meeting and said, Our father died in the wilderness, but he was not among Korah's followers, who gathered together against the Lord. Instead, he died because of his own sin, and he had no sons. Why would the name of our father be taken away from this clan, since he had no son? Give us property among our father's brothers. Moses brought their case before the Lord, and the Lord answered him. What Zelophehad's daughters say is correct. You are to give them hereditary property among their father's brothers, and transfer their father's inheritance to them. Tell the Israelites, when a man dies without having a son, transfer his inheritance to his daughter. If he has no daughter, give his inheritance to his brothers. If he has no brothers, give his inheritance to his father's brothers. If his father has no brothers, give his inheritance to the nearest relative of his clan, and he will take possession of it. This is to be a statutory ordinance for the Israelites, as the Lord commanded Moses. Then the Lord said to Moses, Go up the mountain of the Abarim range, and see the land that I have given the Israelites. After you have seen it, you will also be gathered to your people, as Aaron your brother was. When the community quarreled in the wilderness of Zin, both of you rebelled against my command to demonstrate my holiness in their sight of the waters. Those were the waters of Meribah Kadesh, in the wilderness of Zin. So Moses appealed to the Lord. May the Lord, the God who gives breath to all, appoint a man over the community, who will go out before them and came back in before them, and who will bring them out and bring them in, so that the Lord's community won't be like sheep without a shepherd. The Lord replied to Moses, Take Joshua son of Nun, a man who has the Spirit in him, and lay your hands on him. Have him stand before the priest Eleazar and the whole community, and commission him in their sight. Confer some of your authority on him, so that the entire Israelite community will obey him. He will stand before the priest Eleazar, who will consult the Lord for him with the decision of the Urim. He and all the Israelites with him, even the entire community, will go out and come back in at his command. Moses did as the Lord commanded him. He took Joshua, had him stand before the priest Eleazar and the entire community, laid his hands on him, and commissioned him, as the Lord had spoken through Moses. The Lord spoke to Moses, Command the Israelites and say to them, Be sure to present to me at its appointed time my offering and my food as my food offering, a pleasing aroma to me. And say to them, This is the food offering you are to present to the Lord. Each day present 2 unblemished year-old male lambs as a regular burnt offering. Offer 1 lamb in the morning and another lamb at twilight, along with 2 quarts of fine flour for a grain offering mixed with a quart of olive oil from crushed olives. It is a regular burnt offering established at Mount Sinai for a pleasing aroma, a food offering to the Lord. The drink offering is to be a quart with each lamb. Pour out the offering of beer to the Lord in the sanctuary area. Offer the second lamb at twilight, along with the same kind of grain offering and drink offering as in the morning. It is a food offering, a pleasing aroma to the Lord. On the Sabbath day, present 2 unblemished year-old male lambs, 4 quarts of fine flour mixed with oil, as a grain offering, and its drink offering. It is the burnt offering of every Sabbath, in addition to the regular burnt offering and its drink offering. At the beginning of each of your months, present a burnt offering to the Lord, 2 young bulls, 1 ram, 7 male lambs a year old, all unblemished, with 6 quarts of fine flour mixed with oil, as a grain offering for each bull, 4 quarts of fine flour mixed with oil as a grain offering for the ram, and 2 quarts of fine flour mixed with oil as a grain offering for each lamb. It is a burnt offering, a pleasing aroma, a food offering to the Lord. Their drink offerings are to be 2 quarts of wine with each bull, 1 1/3 quarts with the ram, and 1 quart with each male lamb. This is the monthly burnt offering for all the months of the year. And 1 male goat is to be offered as a sin offering to the Lord, in addition to the regular burnt offering with its drink offering. The Passover to the Lord comes in the first month on the 14th day of the month. On the 15th day of this month, there will be a festival. Unleavened bread is to be eaten for 7 days. On the first day, is to be a sacred assembly. You are not to do any daily work. Present a food offering, a burnt offering to the Lord, 2 young bulls, 1 ram, and 7 male lambs a year old. Your animals are to be unblemished. The grain offering with them is to be a fine flour mixed with oil. Offer 6 quarts with each bull and 4 quarts with the ram. Offer 2 quarts with each of the 7 lambs, and 1 male goat for a sin offering to make atonement for yourselves. Offer these with the morning burnt offering, that is part of the regular burnt offering. You are to offer the same food each day for 7 days as a food offering, a pleasing aroma to the Lord. It is to be offered with its drink offering and the regular burnt offering. On the 7th day you are to hold a sacred assembly. You are not to do any daily work. On the day of first fruits, you are to hold a sacred assembly when you present an offering of new grain to the Lord at your festival of weeks. You are not to do any daily work. Present a burnt offering as a pleasing aroma to the Lord. 2 young bulls, 1 ram, and 7 male lambs a year old, with their grain offering of fine flour mixed with oil, 6 quarts with each bull, 4 quarts with the ram, and 2 quarts with each of the 7 lambs, and 1 male goat to make atonement for yourselves. Offer them with their drink offerings, in addition to the regular burnt offering and its grain offering. Your animals are to be unblemished. You are to hold a sacred assembly in the 7th month, on the first day of the month, and you are not to do any daily work. This will be a day of trumpet blast for you. Offer a burnt offering as a pleasing aroma to the Lord, 1 young bull, 1 ram, 7 male lambs a year old, all unblemished. With their grain offering of fine flour mixed with oil, 6 quarts with the bull, 4 quarts with the ram, and 2 quarts with each of the 7 male lambs. Also offer 1 male goat as a sin offering to make atonement for yourselves. These are in addition to the monthly and regular burnt offerings with their prescribed grain offerings and drink offerings. They are pleasing aroma, a food offering to the Lord. You are to hold a sacred assembly on the 10th day of the 7th month and practice self-denial. Do not do any daily work. Present a burnt offering to the Lord, a pleasing aroma, 1 young bull, 1 ram, and 7 male lambs a year old. All your animals are to be unblemished. Their grain offering is to be a fine flour mixed with oil, 6 quarts with the bull, 4 quarts with the ram, and 2 quarts with each of the 7 lambs. Offer 1 male goat for a sin offering. The regular burnt offering with its grain offering and drink offerings are in addition to the sin offering of atonement. You are to hold a sacred assembly on the 14th day of the 7th month, and do not do any daily work. You are to celebrate a 7-day festival for the Lord. Present a burnt offering, a food offering, a pleasing aroma to the Lord. 13 young bulls, 2 rams, and 14 male lambs a year old. They are to be unblemished. Their grain offering is to be a fine flour mixed with oil, 6 quarts with each of the 13 bulls, 4 quarts with each of the 2 rams, and 2 quarts with each of the 14 lambs. Also offer 1 male goat as a sin offering. These are in addition to the regular burnt offering with its grain and drink offerings. On the 2nd day present 12 young bulls, 2 rams, and 14 male lambs a year old, all unblemished, with their grain and drink offerings, for the bulls, rams, and lambs, in proportion to their number. Also offer 1 male goat as a sin offering. These are in addition to the regular burnt offering, with its grain and their drink offerings. On the 3rd day present 11 bulls, 2 rams, 14 male lambs a year old, all unblemished, with their grain and drink offerings for the bulls, rams, and lambs, in proportion to their number. Also offer 1 male goat as a sin offering. These are in addition to the regular burnt offering, with its grain and drink sacrifices. On the 4th day present 10 bulls, 2 rams, 14 male lambs a year old, all unblemished, with their grain and drink offerings for the bulls, rams, and lambs in proportion to their number. Also offer 1 male goat as a sin offering. These are in addition to the regular burnt offering, with its grain and drink offerings. On the 5th day present 9 bulls, 2 rams, 14 male lambs a year old, all unblemished, with their grain and drink offerings for the bulls, rams, and lambs in proportion to their number. Also offer 1 male goat as a sin offering. These are in addition to the regular burnt offering, with its grain and drink offerings. On the 6th day present 8 bulls, 2 rams, 14 male lambs a year old, all unblemished, with their grain and drink offerings for the bulls, rams, lambs in proportion to their number. Also offer 1 male goat as a sin offering. These are in addition to the regular burnt offering, with its grain and drink offerings. On the 7th day present 7 bulls, 2 rams, and 14 male lambs a year old, all unblemished, with their grain and drink offerings for the bulls, rams, and lambs in proportion to their number. Also offer 1 male goat as a sin offering. These are in addition to the regular burnt offering, with its grain and drink offerings. On the 8th day you are to hold a solemn assembly. You are not to do any daily work. Present a burnt offering, a food offering, a pleasing aroma to the Lord. 1 bull, 1 ram, 7 male lambs a year old, all unblemished, with their grain and drink offerings for the bulls, rams, and lambs, in proportion to their number. Also offer 1 male goat as a sin offering. These are in addition to the regular burnt offering, with its grain and drink sacrifices. Offer these to the Lord at your appointed times in addition to your vow and free will offerings, whether burnt, grain, drink, or fellowship offerings. So Moses told the Israelites everything the Lord had commanded him. Now we read Luke 2. In those days a decree went out from Caesar Augustus that the whole empire should be registered. This first generation took place while Quirinius was governing Syria. So everyone went to be registered, each to his own town. And Joseph also went up from the town of Nazareth in Galilee to Judea, to the city of David, which is called Bethlehem, because he was of the house of the family line of David, to be registered along with Mary, who was engaged to him, and was pregnant. While they were there, the time came for her to give birth. Then she gave birth to her firstborn son, and she wrapped him tightly in cloth and laid him in a manger, because there was no guest room available for them. In the same region, shepherds were staying out in the fields and keeping watch over the flock at night. Then an angel of the Lord stood before them, and the glory of the Lord shone around them, and they were terrified. But the angel said to them, "Don't be afraid, for look, I proclaim to you the good news of great joy that will be for all the people. Today in the city of David a Savior was born for you, who is the Messiah, the Lord. This will be a sign for you. You'll find a baby wrapped tightly in cloth and lying in a manger." Suddenly there was a multitude of the heavenly host with the angel praising God and saying, "Glory to God in the highest heaven, and peace on earth to people he favors." When the angels had left him and returned to heaven, the shepherds said to one another, "Let's go straight to Bethlehem and see what's happened, which the Lord had made known to us." They hurried off and found both Mary and Joseph and the baby who was lying in the manger. After seeing them, they reported the message they were told about this child, and all who heard it were amazed at what the shepherds said to them. But Mary was treasuring up all these things in her heart and meditating on them. The shepherds returned glorifying and praising God for all the things they had seen and heard, which were just as they had been told. When the 8 days were completed for his circumcision, he was named Jesus, the name given by the angel before he was conceived. And when the days of their purification according to the law of Moses were finished, they brought him up to Jerusalem to present him to the Lord, just as is written in the law of the Lord. Every firstborn male will be dedicated to the Lord. And to offer a sacrifice, according to what is stated in the law of the Lord, a pair of turtle doves or 2 pigeons. There was a man in Jerusalem whose name was Simeon. This man was righteous and devout, looking forward to Israel's consolation, and the Holy Spirit was on him. It had been revealed to him by the Holy Spirit that would not see death before he saw the Lord's Messiah. Guided by the Spirit, he entered the temple. When the parents brought in the child, Jesus, to perform for him what was customary under the law, Simeon took him up in his arms, praised God, and said, "Now, Master, you can dismiss your servant in peace, as you promised. For my eyes have seen your salvation. You have prepared it, in the presence of all peoples, a light for revelation to the Gentiles, and glory to your people Israel." His father and mother were amazed at what was being said about him. Then Simeon blessed them and told his mother Mary, "Indeed, this child is destined to cause the fall and rise of many in Israel, and to be a sign that will be opposed, and a sword will pierce your own soul, that the thoughts of many hearts may be revealed." There was also a prophetess, Anna, a daughter of Phanuel, the tribe of Asher. She was well along in years, having lived with her husband 7 years after her marriage, and was a widow for 84 years. She did not leave the temple, serving God night and day with fasting and prayers. At that very moment, she came up and began to thank God and to speak about him to all who were looking forward to the redemption of Jerusalem. When they had completed everything according to the law of the Lord, they returned to the Galilee, to their own town of Nazareth. The boy grew up and became strong, filled with wisdom, and God's grace was on him. Every year his parents traveled to Jerusalem for the Passover festival. When he was 12 years old, they went up according to the custom of the festival. After those days were over, as they were returning, the boy Jesus stayed behind in Jerusalem, but his parents did not know it. Assuming he was in the traveling party, they went a day's journey. Then they began looking for him among their relatives and friends. When they did not find him, they returned to Jerusalem to search for him. After 3 days they found him in the temple, sitting among the teachers, listening to them and asking them questions. And all those who heard him were astounded at his understanding and his answers. When his parents saw him, they were astonished, and his mother said to him, "Son, why have you treated us like this? Your father and I have been anxiously searching for you." "Why were you searching for me?" he asked them. "Didn't you know that it was necessary for me to be in my father's house?" But they did not understand what he said to them. Then he went down with them and came to Nazareth and was obedient to them. His mother kept all these things in her heart, and Jesus increased in wisdom and stature, and in favor with God and with people. On day 50, we read of Balaam and how God used Balaam to display his strength against Moab and Midian. We began Luke and saw the birth of John the Baptist and prophecy of Jesus. Today we continue Numbers, and a second census took place. Why another census? To remind us that the previous generation has died off, as God promised. God keeps his promises, and he will rightfully judge those who sin against him, and rebel just as Israel did. Also written here, God approved the inheritance from father to daughter. Now this was a patriarchal society, meaning that the authority in the family is centered around the men, the fathers. But sometimes, people do not have sons. So, should the inheritance just be given away? God said no, obviously, and protected the daughters of this man and their family. In this way, he gave these women more authority than their uncles, which is more than what other societies will say and do. Joshua was also chosen and commissioned to lead Israel into the promised land, passing on the job from Moses. Now Joshua will not have the same authority as Moses, spiritually, but he will militarily and civilly. The high priest will commune with God. Finally, we see another list of the offsprings and festivals, and outlining what should be done during these times. We have already talked about how God reveals his holiness and his promises through these offerings and festivals, and by making them law, God is requiring that everyone keep these to remember him and always worship him. In Luke, we see a lot of detail already, like specific names of governors and emperors, specific times Jesus was born in Bethlehem, the city where David is from, very important when we look at the Old Testament prophets, and shepherds come to worship him. This is the complete opposite to what we expect a king to be, especially God. God is supposed to be glorious, worshipped by all, letting everyone know and see his presence. But not here. God humbled himself into flesh, and took it further by placing himself in the stables with the animals, worshipped by shepherds, the lowest of the professions. Not only this, he was born into a poorer family, since they were not able to afford an animal from the flock, as commanded in Leviticus, which we read. Because Luke searched and researched, he gave us a story of Simeon, who desired to see the Messiah, and God granted his wish, and proclaims that Jesus is the Messiah. Another person, Anna, who served God in the temple. She knew that Jesus would redeem Israel. Our last story from his childhood, we see him studying and teaching at the temple. Now, this is a complicated topic of the Trinity and how it works, but I will try to focus it and make it simpler. Jesus knew of his divinity, even at this age. But the Son subjected himself to the will of the Father and cast the veil essentially over the divinity. Remember, he humbled himself and was with humans, acted as humans, except in sin. And this includes learning, even though he is God and he knows all, because he himself was also human. Learning, growing, and developing is a core of being human. Christ would not be fully human if he did not experience these things. Thank you for joining in the reading and understanding of these chapters, and let us all be vigilant in continuing this reading. Please share, like, follow, or whatever you can do to help us reach more people with the Bible reading. Please also check out the High Quality Gospel website for more information and a couple of store items. Thank you, and keep learning.